In this video, we are going to talk about the Deion Sanders top 10 most trending moments. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Deion Sanders is now the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes football team, but that is far from the highlight of Prime's illustrious career. He is one of only a few people who has played two sports at the highest level, and he is the only one who has appeared in Super Bowls and World Series. Primetime is finally making his way to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, where he belongs. Mr. Sanders is one of the most outspoken players to ever play in the NFL, but he was always able to back up his words with his actions. He had 53 interceptions, 492 tackles, and over 20 touchdowns in his career. He was simply one of the greatest players in the history of the game. He is still the standard against which all cornerbacks are measured, and he will always be the one and only shut-down cornerback. Sanders was a fantastic punt/kick returner, cornerback, receiver, and one of the greatest showmen in NFL history. Here, the list of Deion Sanders' top 10 most trending moments. Let's start. Number 10. Nike releases Nike Air Diamond Turf Max 96. I'm not sure if this is a trend, but when I was a kid, I was a huge sneakerhead. When Marshall Faulk's Nike Air Barrages were released, I begged my mother for a pair. Deion's Turf Max shoes are the same way. They were cool because Deion wore them and it seemed like everyone in my class wore them. They were black with white flames on the sides and looked great with jeans or shorts. Sanders was one of the most outspoken athletes, and his shoes were an extension of his personality. This shoe was one of the highlights of his career. Number 9. Primetime's 90-yard interception return against San Diego. Sanders' stats are interesting. According to ProFootballHallOfFame.com researcher Salim Chowdhury, Sanders' 9 interceptions returned for touchdowns all came in the fourth quarter, including his 90-yard touchdown against the Chargers. The Chargers were attempting to make the score look respectable, but Sanders was not having it. With 32 seconds left in the game, he intercepted Chargers quarterback Stan Humphries. The pick was returned for 93 yards by Deion, extending the Niners' lead over the Chargers to 38-15. Number 8. 59-yard punt return against Giants. Sanders lived up to his nickname Primetime against the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. Sanders recovered a low, flying kick, reversed 5 yards, and jetted down the sidelines to give the Cowboys a 31-7 lead. Sanders finished the night in New York with 226 yards and 2 touchdowns. Number 7. Deion Sanders becomes a Cowboy and a Madison Avenue darling. Sanders was well-liked before moving to Dallas, but he really took off after signing with the Cowboys. Sanders signed a $55 million contract with Dallas, and the money train appeared to come to a halt in front of Deion's house. We were sure to find Deion's merchandise in shoe stores across the country if we didn't see him on the field. He appeared in Pepsi and Nike commercials, as well as selling pizza and Wheaties. Number 6. Deion Sanders video game. Sega Sports released the video game Primetime NFL starring Deion Sanders in 1995. Sanders recorded 6 different versions of his video game commercial due to the uncertainty surrounding which team he would sign with. Deion eventually became a Cowboy, and his Sega Sports video game is remembered for its ostentation, trash talk, and late hits. Number 5. Sanders' one-handed interception against the Cowboys. Sanders and the Falcons were still playing at Fulton County Stadium when the Cowboys came to town. The Cowboys started quarterback Babe Laufenberg, and future Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith was limited to 34 yards on the ground. What made matters worse for the boys was Sanders' interception, which he returned 61 yards for a touchdown. Sanders caught the Babe throwing to an open Kelvin Martin off his back foot. Sanders armed the pass, breaking the hearts of the Cowboys. Number 4. Sanders returns first career punt return for touchdown. Sanders returns his first career punt return for a touchdown on 4th and 11th. I suppose it was a foreshadowing of things to come. Sanders returned a punt 68 yards for a touchdown against the then Los Angeles Rams in his first game as a Falcon. Sanders went on to score 9 touchdowns on punt and kick returns, cementing his place as one of the best return men in NFL history. Number 3. 93-yard interception touchdown against Falcons. Sanders decided to burn the Falcons the best way he knows how in retaliation for recent going Mike Tyson on his head. Intercept a pass and return it for a touchdown. While high, stepping into the end zone and staring at the Atlanta sideline, Sanders intercepted Atlanta quarterback Jeff George and returned it for a 93-yard touchdown. Number 2. Slap fight with receiver Andre Reason. Sanders returned to face the team that drafted him. Sanders and the Falcons were at odds, and it all came to a head when Sanders and Bad Moon Reason lined up against each other. Reason lunged at Sanders for a block, which caused the gates to open. Sanders and Reason engaged in a slapping match, with Primetime landing an upper slap on Reason before the Zebras intervened. Number 1. 74-yard interception return versus Saints. Deion made a name for himself as a member of the San Francisco 49ers in 1994. Sanders picked off Saints quarterback Jim Everett and returned the interception 74 yards for a touchdown. He ducked, dodged, and danced his way into the end zone, adding to Prime's illustrious career. That's it for today. We hope you found our video interesting. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with others. Also, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads. In the end, thanks for watching, and see you next time.